storm hit parts of Accra as meteorologists warn of longer heavy rain.
Female head porters brave the odds to provide for themselves and their families.
Good evening and welcome to News live on GBC24 as well as Ghana Television. I'm Magashi.
And I'm Thalmataki. Thanks for joining us.
Heavy rains in parts of Accra on Friday and early Saturday morning has brought to the fore the need for all to prepare for the rainy season. Meteorologists have warned of heavy rains that will last for longer hours during the season.
Which started on Friday morning lasted for hours. It continued into the early hours of this morning in parts of the capital where streets were reported to have been submerged. This gutter is reported to have flown onto the road from Circle leading to Kaswa yesterday, causing heavy vehicular traffic. At the time of our visit, the situation has normalized with the traffic flowing freely. Check your body to the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Aveno, Graphic Road and Kaneshi areas, which are notorious for floods, were clear with traffic flowing easily. Even the Odo River was flowing freely. What was visible this morning was a puddle of water on parts of the road, and one is likely to receive a splash of dirty water when vehicles pass by. There's also the issue of sanitation, especially around this time of year. Our cameras captured refuse visible in drains. The Ghana Health Service has warned of the risk of a cholera outbreak in 2017, and this risk has increased with the onset of the rains. The general public has been advised to take sanitation seriously, especially in flood-prone areas.
The Domi market, located in the Dom-Kwabinya constituency, is one of the biggest and popular markets in the capital. It, however, gets muddy whenever it rains, and traders display their wares, including food items, under unsanitary conditions. With the onset of the rains, GBC24 takes a look at the state of the market.
The Dom market serves people from every part of the capital. Traders at the market display their wares in the open and on the floor like most markets in the capital. Conditions here are not different from other markets across the country. There are no sanitary facilities, warehouse, refuse dump, shops or stalls. The traders sell at every available space due to unstructured nature of the markets, making access to a place almost impossible. The market gets muddy whenever it rains, and this was the condition at the market when the news team got there after a downpour.
Our biggest problem now is the mud. We are appealing to government to cement the market.
Since morning, I haven't sold anything. People hardly come to the market when it rains because of the mud.
Government should construct gutters here and also provide enough waste bins for refuse collection.
Some traders say they acquired their own containers in addition to makeshift structures erected at the market to protect their wares from the rains. However, about a year ago, they were allegedly ejected from the structures with a promise of developing the Dom market into a modern one. These 5 one-story structures form part of the first phase of the redevelopment project. But the traders say the contractors failed to honor their promises by selling out all the shops to outsiders, leaving them stranded.
After completion, the shops were sold for 50,000 Ghana cedis, which wasn't part of the initial agreement. Government should urgently put up new stalls for us.
Emma ye, na minya baby ntina, na min solu fi kwai no.
He says yes, stores na yes, store na say yama.
I didn't get any of the shops. Only outsiders benefited.
I want one abana.
Aban o mesi apatabi Emma yen ni anchicha ma abrewa mesuma nyam de nam de me pra yagum.
Speaking to GBC24, the Minister for Public Procurement, Ms. Sarah Adrasafo, who doubles as the Member of Parliament for the Dom Kwabenya constituency, said the government intends to expand the facility under the Phase 2 and 3 of the project, after which all traders will be absorbed.
Now that we have an MC, and she was also a market woman herself, she understands the problems very well. If the previous administration had already given out, refunding these monies would be a problem, ejecting these people would be a problem. The remaining little that is left will make sure that the market women will benefit. But the second phase, which will be starting very soon, will make sure that they are our priorities.
Meanwhile, Ms. Adrasafo has set up a 100,000 Ghana cedi revolving fund for traders in the area. So far, 50,000 Ghana cedis has been disbursed to the traders to cushion them in their businesses.
As it goes on, we'll try as much as possible to also increase the seed fund, which is the 50,000. What happened now is for them to have something to work with. Once we get most of these women actively in trade, we know that then the problems of our children and all of the family will be minimized.
About 100 women benefited from the first phase of the fund.
Female head porters, also known as kayaye, often migrate from the northern part of Ghana in search of greener pastures in the urban centers. From rape, harsh treatment from customers, to the bad weather conditions they silently bear, these kayaye are the breadwinners for their immediate families back in their hometowns. Toe to toe, the young female porters compete with the older kayaye in the race to make money and to exit their present predicament. Here's a report by Ofori Wadako.
The best deals are always in maze of markets. It is hot and noisy while buying food in bulk to save money. Just when you have reached your wit's end, a girl or a woman shows up and offers to carry it all for you. She is a kayayo, known in English as a head porter. Kayaye, which is a plural of the word, are found in all corners of markets, and they carry everything from groceries to heavy boxes of goods. The story of kayaye are untold. Young girls who are school dropouts usually fall into this trap. A young migrant from northern Ghana who only gave her name as Aishatu arrived in the capital 3 months ago. That is a journey of nearly 600 kilometers by road. She is the city's newcomer, or what some would call greyhound. Following a plan that was initiated by her older sister and herself, 17-year-old Aishatu borrowed a total amount of 60 cedis to pay her transportation fare from Wale in the northern region to Accra.
I want to go and attend school. That's why I come here. So you want to go to school? That's why I come here to look for money.
Unlike Aishatu, another victim of the circumstance who came to the capital city 2 months ago, did not hesitate to make her identity known. Kamara Haruna said she had to sell groundnuts to get enough funds for transportation. According to her, she ran away from her family in the Upper West region to secure a better job in Accra.
800 na 700.
I make good sales every day.
Oh, yes.
After sharing their ordeals, Kamara and Aishatu were eager to show us where they sleep at night and a shower house, but could not do so because of the need to protect their identity. To ascertain the true state of the life the young migrant headquarters bear in the capital city, the news team pried further with the use of a hidden camera. This is the shower house where almost all the Kayaye take their bath in the morning before embarking on the routine of daytime. They are charged 50 pesos or 1 cedi before they are allowed to use the washroom, which is located at the Tema station. Tema station is home to hundreds of Kayaye who ply in the central business district of Accra. Here, Kamara, Aishotu, and other young migrant headquarters battle for space with the older Kayaye to lay their heads at night. Although Aishotu says sleeping at Tema station is safer and confined than sleeping in front of shops, they have to patiently wait for traders at the station to park their wares before they can retire to bed.
Every day and every night, I suffer morning my time. I suffer morning my time. The way you do, it is not fine. The way you do, it is not fine.
A major goal for both the young and old Kayaye is to save money for their future plans, set up their own businesses, and enroll in apprenticeships. However, these young migrant Kayaye are hopeful that their story would end in a good climax one day. What stands between them and their noble objectives are the dangers of the present. For GBC24, Ofori Wadako reported.
I want to see you, my father.
Let's go to the Western region now, where the chiefs and people have endorsed the creation of a new region by the president. In view of this, 7 traditional areas have held separate meetings to solicit ideas from inhabitants on the proposal.
The creation of new regions in the country is not new. In the 1980s, some traditional leaders asked the government in place at the time for the creation of new regions to ensure rapid development. During the elections last year, the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, who was then the presidential candidate of the NPP, promised to create new regions for the Western region to ensure equitable development. As a result, the chiefs of the northern part of the Western region have organized separate fora to seek views from the people. Addressing the people at his palace, the president of the Western Regional House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Nana Yao JB II, said the proposal to create a new region is a laudable. This is because development would get to every part of the region.
Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Honorable Dan Butri, and the Regional Minister, Honorable Dr. Free, and Honorable Damasi, Minister for Chieftaincy, Abishia, Atremantam, Amahina, and the Educator. Amina, I just said, a Susia Pan, a Pan.
Some of the people spoke to GBC24 about what the area stands to gain from the creation of the region.
Since 1999, government ticket for Mecca.
Since 1999, nobody from Bebieni had ever visited Mecca. Even though we are part of the allocation for Western region, we are therefore grateful for such an opportunity.
Nana Ojiahoho JB appealed to the people to give their maximum support.
Players in the ICT sector have met in Accra to discuss how government can achieve its developmental agenda through prioritization of ICT. The Minister for Communications, Mrs. Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, called on all government agencies to enroll onto the National Information Technology Agency NITA platform to ensure data security and business continuity.
Communications technology ICT as a means of national development. The meeting was aimed at reiterating the role ICT plays and the important place of the National Information Technology Agency in the nation's quest for growth and development. To facilitate the process, A national state-of-the-art data center has been provided by government to facilitate the efficient delivery of government and private sector services. It will also speed up the update of ICT services in Ghana. The National Data Center provides services such as renting space at its modern facilities for businesses to access their services and other computing hardware. The Minister for Communications, Mrs. Ursula Akufo, said government's vision was not only to improve accuracy and speeding of service delivery, but maximizing the benefits of ICT in national development.
None of us should adopt any IT application, solution, software, switch, platform without reference to NITA. For all you know, the application that you're buying already exists in the public service. And so, by going solo and seeking to acquire an IT solution without reference to NITA, what you're doing is duplicating what may already exist. We wouldn't know whether it can link up with other existing government facilities.
She added that the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, platform will enable all government agencies to contribute efficiently and effectively to national development. The Acting Director General of the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, Mr. Jeffrey Konedu Addo, said his outfit will ensure IT harmonization infrastructure usage to improve government's delivery of IT services to citizens. Other services the data center provides are investigating network-related issues, resolving hardware-related issues, installation and support of core software, among others. And by the end of this year, the Ghana Police Service will train over 20,000 youths in community safety and security. The move falls under the National Youth Employment Agency program, which is aimed at enhancing security across the country.
In an effort to address unemployment in the country and staffing challenges confronting the Ghana Police Service, the National Youth Employment Agency, YEA, is collaborating with the Ghana Police Service to train 36 youth in community safety and security. The Director General of the National Patrol Departments of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Yagi Akuriba, said the service needs the services of additional personnel to augment the work of the police. He said the new recruit would be under the direct supervision of the police service.
It is our hope that at the end of the implementation plan, 36,000 community protection officers, that's the CPOs, will be recruited, trained and deployed back into their communities where they were picked. For effective supervision that will motivate all to get involved, a civilian oversight body, COB, will be constituted in all the 6,000 electoral areas.
The Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Employment Agency, Mr. Bashiru Ibrahim, noted that between August and November this year, the first batch of 15,000 youth would be trained by the police service. An additional 5,000 would also be trained and posted to other security agencies, including the prisons service.
It is our hope and it is our belief that after 2 years of intensive training and working with the Ghana Police Service, if there's a need for them to do recruitment, those who will meet the requirement, we are hoping and appealing to the Ghana Police Service to give them a priority. Of course, they would have gained some level of experience. Because in YEA today, our concern is not just about recruiting people, but it's about what will be their future after 2 years of exiting.
The program is built on the Community Police Assistant Program initiated some years ago.
A 4-year-old boy, Mayor Nunya Moses, is reported missing. Mayor was last seen at Amfega Zongo in the Volta region, where he had accompanied his mother, Dorcas Agbeko, to a funeral in the said town from Accra on the 9th of June 2017.
Mayor Nunya Moses was last seen in a white striped t-shirt khaki shorts and slippers, left home at about 12:30 p.m. on 10th June 2017, but has since not been seen. All efforts to locate Mayor's whereabouts have proved futile. His family, together with the police, are calling on the general public who have come across a boy who fits the boy's description to kindly report to the nearest police station, especially in the Volta region and in Accra. Persons can also call the father, Mr. Eric Kulevome, on the following numbers: 0243 577 432 or 0275 306803. Mayor Nunya Moses speaks only English.
And the mortal remains of Mr. Albert Ajetesoa has been interred in Accra. The retired head of camera at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation is remembered for his skills behind the camera. The funeral was attended by a section of politicians, current and past broadcasters.
Albert Ajetesoa is synonymous to camera in the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. He was one of the many young people who joined the state broadcaster in August 1977 after venturing a few trades. This was after his formative years in Radiant Way Preparatory School and Accra Academy, which he completed in 1974. While in GBC, Albert Soa applied himself to the rules of public service and rose through the ranks to head the camera department. He is on record to have seen it all through the technical transitions from Bell and Howell, Ariflex 16, Umatic, Betacam, XD-Cam, before the recent chip system of camera. The late Albert Ajetesoa endeared himself to the leadership of GBC by dint of hard work.
The skillful use of the Betacam cameras got you assigned to cover most challenging assignments, especially during the 1979 and 1981 revolutions. As a young cameraman, Albert Ajetesoa sought to capture creative, memorable, and jaw-dropping scenes and moments. His love for the countryside got him to cover virtually every corner of Ghana. He worked closely with ex-President Jerry John Rawlings, then with ex-President John Ajekum Kufuor, in the borders of this nation and around the globe, making the way for others to follow.
There were glowing tributes from the family, children, friends, and the Accra Academy family. The sermon was delivered by the chairman of the Pastors Meeting Association and Association of Churches in Teshi, Reverend Cephas Hammond. He touched on the need for humility and service to humanity once one is alive, and it dwelled on the 2nd and 3rd chapters of Daniel chapter 12, and it says, quote, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever." This is the story of Albert Ajetesoa. Nto Bibini Nto, GBC24, Accra.
It's still News Hour live on GBC24 and Ghana Television. Let's do business now. From 1st September this year, the Ports and Harbours Authority is expected to remove all customs barriers on transit corridors and implement 100% paperless processing procedures. Regulatory agencies are also to conduct mandatory joint inspection at the various ports. The policy intervention is meant to improve operations at the ports.
It is estimated that about 80% of Ghana's international trade volume is by sea. It is also one of the key revenue generation areas, with the Tema ports handling large volumes of the country's imports. Currently, the Takoradi port is undergoing expansion works to cater for the inflows and provide adequate facilities for the oil and gas sector. A similar work is also ongoing at the Tema port to increase commercial trade and meet growing demands at the port. Cost of doing business, bureaucracy in the clearing of goods and congestion at the ports are key challenges facing the sector. The new reforms will become operational in September this year. It is in line with the government's vision to transform the economy through enhanced economic trade and industrialization. At a meeting with stakeholders, the Minister for Transport, Mr. Kweku Fori-Siama, urged management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to prepare adequately to meet the deadline.
In the face of the offshore development in the Western Enclave, the position of GPHA is now even more important than what it used to be. It is necessary that you come in with policies and programs that will aid the GPHA to take advantage of the offshore development in the Western Enclave.
The board chairman of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Mr. Peter Macmenu, pledged to work in sync with the new directive.
The GPHA board will strive to initiate policies and programs that will reduce turnaround time of vessels and speed up cargo clearance. We promise to lead GPHA with exemplary set of leadership skills and position GPHA as a center of logistic excellence.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is a state-owned enterprise with a mandate to plan, construct, manage and operate ports and harbours in the country.
Construction works are underway months after fire razed some facilities of Group Indum housed on the Coconut Grove Regency Hotel compound. Contrary to earlier media reports, Group Indum says the hotel was not affected by the April 24 fire incident.
This is the Coconut Grove Hotel, owned by Ghanaian politician and businessman Papa Kwesi Indum. On the 24th of April this year, fire gutted other companies belonging to the millionaire housed on the premises of Coconut Grove Hotel. They include Gold Coast Securities, ATV, Business Television Africa, and the Corporate Affairs Department of Group Indum. Initial media reports indicated that Coconut Grove was on fire, but the sales and marketing manager of the company, Sally Imro, says otherwise.
The unfortunate situation that happened some weeks back did not affect the hotel operation in any way. It was actually some of our affiliate companies that got affected, but the hotel has been intact and we remain intact and we are open up for business.
At the time of our visit, portions that were affected by the fire were under reconstruction while the hotel operates as usual. The official cause of the fire is yet to be established by the Ghana Fire Service.
Tomorrow is Father's Day. Unlike Mother's Day when people go shopping for gifts for their mothers, most people are either oblivious of Father's Day or have no plans to celebrate the day. GBC24 solicited views of people about the day.
Is celebrated worldwide to recognize the contribution of fathers in the lives of their children. Although it is celebrated on different dates worldwide, many countries observe the day on the third Sunday of June. It is common to see people buying gifts for their mothers weeks ahead of the day. However, celebration of Father's Day is different. There is low publicity in the media and people either pay little attention or are oblivious of the day. GBC24 visited some shops at Osu to ascertain the level of patronage ahead of Father's Day. At Nalam Clothing, the attendant, Mr. Godwin Erickson, said patronage is low. He said sales ahead of Mother's Day was much better and the shop ran out of stock.
When we were doing Mother's Day sale, we had hampers wrapped in even our shop, like a package for mothers. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this place was filled up with gifts from moms, and we got out of stocks even. But the story has changed is when it's become to fathers. And since morning up to now, nobody even came in to say, I'm buying for my dad, I'm buying for someone who is there for me as a father. And so it's so very unfortunate.
A shirt at this shop goes for 200 Ghana cedis, but ahead of Father's Day, the price has been reduced to either 130 or 150 Ghana cedis. But according to shop attendants, patronage is still low.
People are purchasing, but we are yet about to receive a lot of customers. People who normally comes to buy like 7-8 shirts for their parents, sometimes their uncles and their brothers. So fathers should be really celebrated because fathers are very important people in the society.
A security man at the Oxford Street Mall, Mr. Richard Osam, said it is worth celebrating the day. However, an attendant at the Royals Forex Bureau, Mr. Kwame Amankwa, had a different view.
If in case we are celebrating Mother's Day, which we all love it, and Father's Day, it's like nobody even remembers it. Like we are having a Father's Day, unless it's being heard on the radio and advertising and of it. That's why we know before they are like Father's Day is coming to happen. But likewise, like a Mother's Day, we all know. I even know the date of Mother's Day. I don't even know. I don't know. They are doing something right though, but then why are we celebrating our fathers?
Sunday, July 18 is Father's Day, and so we ask, how do you intend to celebrate the day? Remember to get a gift for your father.
That'll be all for business. We're back after the break. Welcome to sports. Ghana's middleweight world title hopeful Obodai Sai was in the early hours of Saturday knocked out in the 5th round by his Namibian challenger. The bout was a WBO and IBF middleweight world title eliminator.
The match talked about WBO and IBF middleweight world title eliminator bout was staged at the Bukom Boxing Arena. The bout, put together by the Lions Boxing Promotions, was dubbed Explosive Fight Night. The headliner was between undefeated WBO Africa champion Namibian Walter Kwatondukwa and WBO interim African champion Ghana's Obodai Sai. Walter came into the ring with 14 wins and no defeat, and 13 wins by way of knockout, and ranked 8th by the WBO. Sai, on the other hand, was ranked 13th by the WBO. Sai showed glimpses of a potential world beater with his jabs, hooks, and landing punches, much to the happiness of the teeming boxing fans, which included the immediate past youth and sports minister, Neil Lanti Vanderpoel, and Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan.
Obodai Sai of Ghana tries to look for space, comes away through lofty punches, goes over the hands of Walter. Walter really takes his stance. Both of them are orthodox boxers.
At the peak of the bout, Walter came in strongly in the third, which is trademark hard punching. The bout, that many expected to last a bit longer, however, was cut short after Kwatondukwa landed a heavy punch on the face of Obodai Sai, who could not return to a state of normalcy, forcing the referee to bring the bout to a close.
But the Namibian has taken charge of the fight at this point in time. Obodai Sai find himself in all sorts of problems. But let me tell you, as Neil rightly put it, well, he started, let me say, running coming through on Obodai Sai before I came in. He knows Obodai Sai, as I told you, just like the back of his hand, he knows what he's talking about. But from what I'm seeing at the moment, it seems Obodai Sai is in all sorts of problems. He's in 6s and 7s. He needs to regroup. And then come on, something spectacular. And Obodai Sai goes down. Obodai Sai goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, it says the dream of Obodai Sai annexing the belt of the Namibian is down up in flames. Oh, it's all over. It's all over. Obodai Sai's dream is gone.
Kwatondukwa was thus declared the winner by a technical knockout in round 5.
By a technical knockout, the winner is the boxer who is also known to be called the executioner, Walter Kaotondokwa.
By virtue of this victory, the Namibian has defended his WBO Africa middleweight belt. He has also added the IBF Africa middleweight title to his collection, making an impressive record of 15 undefeated fights with 14 by way of knockouts.
We take a break here.
In the art segment, two artists, Efo Sela Ejay and Elikplim, have come together to exhibit their works titled Purple Hamatan Series. The collaboration shows paintings of Ejay and a poetry by Akoli in an abstract performance.
The exhibition attracted a number of art lovers as they went round to appreciate the paintings by Sela Ejay. Elikplim then performed one of his poetries.
Love must be warm. Such efforts stone to light. Love knows itself. It knows its worth. It must be warm.
Elikplim shared what inspired Purple Hamatan series.
This is like a personal and individual experience. I found myself in a very good emotional space during Hamatan of 2015. So the experience that I had, my emotions, my thoughts, my being, was captured in poetry so that I can share with the world. And my brother, being an artist, a painter, decided to put those things into color so that if you cannot actually get the idea of the work in poetry, at least you can feel it.
Sela Ejay described how he painted out all the ideas of Elikplim.
It wasn't too difficult because painting is also a form of poetry, just that we paint words with colors. Yeah, so it was a really exciting project for me, and I didn't even believe myself that I could express his poetry the way he wanted it.
Elikplim is working on documenting all the poems for lovers of poetry.
A U.S. judge has declared a mistrial in the Bill Cosby sex assault case after the jury remained deadlocked for days. The 7 men and 5 women were unable to reach a unanimous decision after some 53 hours of deliberations in Norristown, Pennsylvania. And John G. Avildsen, the Oscar-winning director of Rocky and The Karate Kid, has died at the age of 81. That's it for entertainment and arts, the segment. Up next is the weather report.
The weather report, and I'll see you same time right here only on GTV.
Do have a good night.
And now, before we part company, here are the headlines in brief. Heavy rains in parts of Accra on Friday and early Saturday morning have brought to the fore the need for all to prepare for the rainy season. Meteorologists have warned of heavy rains that will last for longer hours during the season.
And female herd porters, also known as Kayaye, in search of greener pastures in the urban centers, are bracing abuse and the vagaries of the weather to cater for themselves and their families. In most cases, the girls say the end goal is to save enough money to learn a trade, go to school, or set up a business.
And UK police say a total of 58 people are presumed dead or missing following the devastating fire at Grenfell Tower in West London. The latest police update comes as the Queen reflected on the somber national mood following tragedies in London and Manchester in recent weeks in her official birthday message. And that's it for the news. Join us again at 10:30 for the week's compilation of news on This Week. Thanks for your time.